Matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in at the bottom of the NFL power rankings, and we understand why. They're 0-12.
And even beyond the power rankings, offense isn't playing very well. Defense is giving up a lot of points. That equals 0-12.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Check, 59. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 22 carries, 113 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. Touchdown, Vikings! first touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now, this is a crew. They've come out flat their last two games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out at QB is the former North Carolina Tar Heel, Mitchell Trubisky.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Break it up. 54 Mike.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
18.
Check mark 52.
On 2nd and 15 now. Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
First down, a run with Cohen. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen, very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Check. Watch 54.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 2nd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Second and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Cousins now. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Roquan Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. And I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Check 37, check 37. Blue.
On 1st down, it's Cohen. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He'll try and run it. Sheds off the tackle, and he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
They'll run on first down. Cohen. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Now it's Trubisky. Flushed out right. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So on 4th down, on comes Robbie Gould in the field goal unit for the Bears. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Here's a quick throw to Thielen. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
I'm here all day.
On play action, Cousins. And a quick throw here that's complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Give to Cook out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop. Play action now. Cousins. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's Matt Wild now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll field this at the 5. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Trubisky will throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number 1, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They come out here in the eye.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
They'll run with Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now Cook. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Mitchell Trubisky and the Bears set to begin their next drive. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
First down, Bears. Not today, you are.
On first down, it's Cohen. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, Charlie.
On 2nd and 7, Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky going deep this time for Miller. This is caught.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Hey, Haywood!
Here's Trubisky. And his throw here's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Trubisky to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I don't have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 5 yards on the catch there brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Cousins on first down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it, because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Cousins now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Again, it's Cousins. Looking middle, and that's complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Cousins. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Prater's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Trubisky, he's going to sling this deep downfield, and that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this 1st half. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And a fair catch is taken here a step or two inside the 45-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They start the drive with Cook. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, and it's the Titans with the lead in the 2nd quarter of play. Taywan Taylor. A touchdown reception. From there, let's get to the Meadowlands to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. Brandon Cooks, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Albert Wilson, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth 1st half. Who can put it together in the 2nd half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he finally runs out of gas, but not before he's inside the 10-yard line.
Similar to golf, you never want to count a score before it actually happens, but you have to figure. They thought they were going to get 6 on that play. Great effort to keep them out of the end zone, but a big-time return.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Second down and goal. Trubisky. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Here's Trubisky to throw. And it's caught. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. Fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They're turned away on fourth and goal. And instead of having a one-score game, they'll remain 2 scores down. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Well, you were just alluding to it. They had the lead. Don't try anything silly. Run the ball, but they opted to throw it incomplete.
And now the punt, as a result, is really compressed, isn't it? So the mechanics have to be perfect. Snap, and he's got to get rid of it fast.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Fielded at the 33. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal. Rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time, but you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Herbert, flush to his right. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Right here. Hey, exit. 55 is my guy, 55. Hey, let's get in them holes. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's got Burton here. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll run on 1st down. Cohen. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Ready? 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey, defense, let's go. Check. Hey, check 20.
It's a quarterback sneak. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the 1st. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Samaje Perine, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And when they called that play, I'm not sure they expected it to go all the way to the end zone. Nice little reward, though.
Without a doubt, and sometimes I think the offensive line gets a little bit more inspiration when they know that guy's going to get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often. They want to reward him for all that good blocking he does as well.
Gold with the extra point, and the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Samaje Perine. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Yeah, he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Let's go.
And out now come the Vikings. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Here we go.
Here's Cousins. Throws right side, and that's complete. A gain there of 21 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect to... Pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
That's good for a Vikings first down.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Cousins throw complete to Thielen. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Cousins to throw it. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Cook following the penalty. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This one from 48 yards away. And he didn't get it there. No, it's no good. Just shy of the crossbar, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, 2nd half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready, break. 55. Let's go, D.
On 2nd down. It's Cohen. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, they go right back to Cohen. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
We got him. Good. Good. Check mark. Watching the grind. I'm not ready. My 55.
2nd and 10. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, They put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. The Bears on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know, you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
All square now at 13-all as he sends this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him. That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
65.
On 2nd down, Cook. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Vikings on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he's taken down inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 29-yard line. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Going to run with Madison again. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Here I come again.
Cousins. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
And now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
I can't believe they even let you play. 55 is my guy, 55. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. Ready?
On first down, Herbert. This one into the hands of Burton. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
2nd and 1. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
On third down, a run with Cohen. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Hey, Delta. Come on.
On first and 10, Herbert eluding the pressure right. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a first and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph. They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
And Robinson with a big catch. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their number one receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't. On first down, it's Cohen. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. He's back to throw. And that will be incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to tie things up in the final minute. The kick by Gold is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll start on the ground with Madison. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Let's go.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Cousins. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Leads to 2nd and 10.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Cousins to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Intended for Stephon Diggs. Incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Draw play, Madison. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
It's 4th down.
Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
So a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
That's a gain of 6.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brendan, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This will be taken at the 10. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They try again with Cohen. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Herbert, that one brought in by his tight end Adam Shaheen. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Check back. X3, 218. Let's go.
They'll go with a keeper. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
On 2nd down now, it's Cohen. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied.
Here we go. 8 read. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get opposite. Come get some.
Now Cohen. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. When they're lined up in the 46 defense like that, running is just going to be a slog.
Especially if you're trying to run it in the middle of the defense. So what you're hoping, get a stalemate against the 3 across the front. And can you get some one-on-one blocks that you can win on the perimeter? To me, that's the best place to carry the football.
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert, that's complete to Robinson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
They're starting to put together a nice drive. They'll run on 1st down. Cohen, he's able to get 6, a nice pickup down to the 21. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Ready, set.
54, right there, 54, Mike.
Fire.
And now a carry here for their fullback. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So a big kick coming for Robbie Gould. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Bears, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, this will mark an unlucky loss number 13 for them. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.